it's not on the board.
Well,
If it was A4, bravo.
and now we see knight f3 there from
And they're
Wei Yi, and he's gone for e3, now c4. He employed this yesterday with a lot of success.
And we're back to these Reti queens, fianchettos with bishop to b2. I really want to give Nepo a great deal of credit because he was really infusing new ideas into this centuries-old line. Castles. And you can't get more conventional than this. We're told castle early. So do it in the least amount of moves that you can, and definitely do this.
And black has just broken with d5, which saw Wei Yi make a trade of pawns.
Was this
now,
the game where we saw d4
yeah, we did see
knight a4 and
yes.
all that good business?
But instead, now I'm expecting Wei Yi to play d4 himself, unless he wants to do d3 and go for something like that.
Duda on move. Will Duda play knight c6 and allow your d3 or d4, or will he try to essay the move
Oh right,
d4?
I hadn't quite noticed that when
Rook
Yi
c1.
has played rook c1, I was
Yes.
expecting d4 because I'm getting very, very anxious when I give my opponent the Santa.
Exactly.
So rook c1 played, and yeah,
Knight c6,
knight c6
okay.
and knight a4.
Tickling the pawn and just saying, okay, if you play b7, b6,
Now
pay
d4.
attention, I want to play d4, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so how to defend that? Jump with the knight into the center.
Knight e4 gets tickled with d3. I think b6, whether you like it or not, is obliged. b6, for example, let's just put some moves on the board. b6, b4, knight e4 is a way of defending the pawn on c5. Maybe on a good day you get to play bishop f6, but we'll see what Duda essays right here. He has done b6. I don't think you have much of a choice on that one.
Well, there is a possibility of defending with the knight, so that if d3 happens, the king is there on an open diagonal. But that's the tactical way. How to defend the pawn?
Defend tactically.
Yes. And
d4, here it goes.
played, putting pressure on c5. Remember, you cannot capture on d4 because the knight is loose, unprotected on c6. As knight e4 more or less forced.
Exactly. So the players have caught up with us, so to speak. Knight to e4, defending the pawn on c5, inviting bishop to d3, but bishop to e3 will likely be met by knight b4. Bishop to b5, how do you like them apples? I think bishop b5 is a good move.
Yeah, and the question is how to defend that knight. Do you defend with the bishop to d7, or do you put it on b7 where it just is a little bit passive? You kind of want to put it on.
Well, white's done.
36 seconds.
Ooh.
And you have to spot this idea of knight to d7, so therefore you have to move a rook to the d line. You have to go rook e7, but you've got to spot it, Yasser, that's the whole point. You can't just go, you can't move the bishop. Okay, he moves king h8. This is a nice move now. Knight d7 no longer possible.
For me, it was very clear that white's pawn on e3 is weak. So I want to triple on the
h4.
pawn. Rook e7,
And
king h8.
the player's there in seconds, 23 seconds for Jan-Krzysztof Duda, whereas 33 seconds for Wei Yi. And the queen moves over to f4. Do you think Wei Yi would be happy with the draw? Okay, no, he's going for it. g4. Knight to d7, and as you mentioned, Yasser, the e-pawn is vulnerable.
I was gonna say, I think king h8, king g8 was just wasted moves. If the rook was on e7 right now, we would be doubling. Well, what we should be doing is doubling on the e file and attacking that pawn on e3. This is the only weakness in white's camp. So finally he's done it. Clock times.
Well,
Big factor.
13 seconds for Wei Yi. Oh, gee.
I wouldn't want to open up the...
Look at that, queen c8, and the king goes on an adventure rather than covering those light squares. Yes, things are getting shaky for Wei Yi. h5.
I didn't like the move bishop c8. I thought h5 right away. Let's keep that nice
9
and tidy.
seconds.
9 seconds.
7
Ooh.
seconds.
And he's finally done d4, a move. The bishop was better on b7 in this particular case, but okay, it's all about the clock now.
Yeah, but it's also white's king that is
Nerves.
under severe pressure, and there we see Duda just doubling up on the e-line. Queen takes bishop, an intermediate move.
That's a piece.
That is a
Wei
piece.
Yi is lost. Wei Yi is lost, completely lost. How will he save this one?
Well, he can march his c-pawn. He's escaped worse, Yasser.
Yes, he has.
Okay, rook to d1.
I can't argue
right.
with that. But this is just lost. I mean, he's a piece down with queen c7.
And now the queen
No, he didn't play queen c7.
No, well, now the queen is coming over to take the light squares. The h-pawn falls.
Yes.
It is over for Wei Yi. There's no coming from this one. And we see a handshake.
Wow, our tournament
Jan-Krzysztof
leader.
Duda wins. And you know who else won? Magnus Carlsen beat
That
out Susato.
tightens the race by of a